Today on Suncoast View, cancel your spring break trip in Florida. That is what is all over social media today. We'll talk about why.
It is wedding season, and a top Suncoast wedding planner is here to talk trends and share some amazing photos to help you plan a perfect party for any occasion.
And Manatee School for the Arts has launched many young stage careers, and today they preview the musical Godspell. All that more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show. Yes, you are watching the right show. And welcome to Nicole Caney from NK Productions. Wedding Planning, great to have you with us.
Thank you. So nice to be here again.
And of course, we owe you a major thank you for giving us a little bit of a redo, which is a very, very fun way to start the week. Very classy. I love it.
Oh,
Thanks.
yes, I'm sitting on fur here.
Yes.
With sparkle
we like to make
beside
things
me.
pretty. So.
What could be more glamorous here?
I know, Linda, I feel like this is what you look like at home.
It is.
Just lounging on fur with glittered pillows.
Just lots of gorgeous angles and everything. And Nicole, tell us about this. I know it's from Staged Event Design and Rentals.
It's from So Staged, and they do a lot of things at our wedding. So it's very common to see a little settee, some chairs, some furniture for groupings for guests to sit down at cocktails or have a seat when other guests are dancing. Sometimes we turn these into cigar bars, and so it's really fun.
I didn't know you could rent things like that.
Yeah,
awesome.
we see a lot of custom details at weddings.
And venues don't mind you bringing things in like this because it seems
no.
awkward to sit in some of those dining chairs while everybody else is dancing. If you need a break, this is wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes.
we completely transform venues, so that's what makes it fun.
Oh, it's nice how furniture can sometimes dictate behavior at an event.
Yeah, sometimes guests like to sit and relax, and then other times guests are dancing. So it makes it feel like there's a lot more warmth at the wedding.
Right.
And also the couple's personalities really come out too.
Well, it has certainly warmed up our set, that's for sure. So if you can class up a wedding with this, imagine what you've been able to do here. So, well, we appreciate you being here, and we certainly appreciate the different look for today. It makes things a lot of fun. We have a familiar face with a new story for us in the kitchen today. We welcome back Chef Evan from Siesta Key Summer House, something you may not have heard of course. Tell us about your new place.
Super excited. We should be opening in a couple weeks. We're really excited. It's going to bring something to the Key, steaks and seafood, really high quality. Today we're going to be talking about our Oysters Rockefeller, a little bit of a spin with a spinach and bacon fondue. Ooh. So we're really excited. We've got some wine, some cocktails for you as well.
All right, sounds fabulous. That whole concept of going out to Siesta Key and not having to go back inland for a fine dining event like that is great. I went out there this weekend, and I will tell you, it took a very long time to maneuver the bridges and the traffic.
And
so
you could have been eating and drinking during all that time.
Once I'm there, I want to be there. So I think this is a great addition.
Oh, yeah. Well, the summer house is a historic thing here. So that's a great memory it's bringing back.
Yeah.
Ah, and that's one that you know that I don't. So you're going to have to tell us about that as we learn more about the kitchen. I'm sure Chef Evan did that very purposely. So I look forward to hearing about it. Nicole, we do actually like learning more about you since you're not with us all that open. I know you're a mom.
I am.
Tell us a little bit about your
I
family.
have 2 little kids. I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Oh, you're like in the trenches of momhood.
Yeah. So this morning it's getting kids ready, getting ready to be here, juggling work, but I have an amazing team, so it helps me so much, and really hands-on family too, and a wonderful husband. So
That helps
when they say it takes a village, it is very true in my world. It does.
Okay, so I have a nosy mom question because I'm fascinated on a daily basis of how everybody does it because I barely am most days. Like with events and things like that, I mean, do you just try to make sure everybody knows your schedule? Because I'm sure you work some off hours because of the events that you plan.
I do, but my company's changed right now. We do about 75 weddings a year, but my team really does a lot. They're fantastic, and I have a lot of trust in them. So it's allowed me to free up a little bit more weekends. So I oversee our really big weddings, and then my team executes a lot of them on the weekends. I still oversee everything. Like this weekend, we had 3 weddings. I went and saw them all, but I didn't have to be there the whole night. So that really helps when I wake up Sunday morning.
And you're not exhausted.
I haven't gotten home at 1 or 2 in the morning and been gone all day.
And the 1-year-old gets up at 6, and I'm sure that's, we all know.
They're good kids, they're good sleepers, but still,
They want mommy to be good.
And I don't want to miss so much, but I feel like I also love my career so much, and I'm so lucky to have it. So I feel like I have a really, really good balance, and I enjoy both aspects of my
Stephanie
life.
and I made it through. We made it through the trenches, so you can do this.
She's the role model you want to look at because she made it through and is now to the other side where her grandchildren love her dearly.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm a part of that
trenches.
village.
Yeah, she's in the village. I won't tell you any scary stories because I'm full of scary teenager stories and I shall keep them to myself.
I gotta wonder of your daughter. I know she's still little, but is she? Does she have the gene, the event organization at birthday parties?
She's having tea parties.
100%. She loves to help us in the office, actually, and she really takes ownership. So I love her seeing that. I like her seeing us working and what it's like to have a strong female role model as well as a male. But I do think it's really nice for her to see that mom works hard.
Right.
And also there's a lot of really wonderful people in her life as well that work hard as well.
And then she gets to see the pretty things.
Yeah.
I mean, wait till
she
you
loves
see these
it.
dresses. If I was a 4-year-old girl and these
Yeah.
dresses existed in my world, you'd be in heaven all the time.
Yes,
She's
you're
planned her
creating
wedding,
expensive
actually.
taste.
She's
right.
already planned her wedding. She's getting married at Selby. She has a boyfriend, so
Oh, you're in trouble.
I'm
Again, I'm
working
going to
to
close
pay
my
for that
teenager mom
wedding.
mouth.
I'm thinking maybe a 5-year-old party instead of a wedding. But
oh yeah, those are too small for her. She's moving on to bigger.
Oh boy, you're in trouble. It'll be a lot of fun. Well, we're glad you're with us today.
you.
And it is time for our first hot topic. Student survivors of the Parkland school shooting continue to be vocal. This weekend, one took to social media to ask tourists to boycott the state of Florida as a spring break destination. The tweet reads, "Let's make a deal. Do not come to Florida unless gun legislation is passed. These politicians won't listen to us. Maybe they'll listen to the billion-dollar tourism industry." The second tweet, better idea, spend your spring break in Puerto Rico. They could really use the economic support. This post has been retweeted more than 30,000 times.
this is such a terrible idea.
Oh.
You are Sally did something bad to you, so you're going to hurt Jeff, just so people will pay attention to you.
Yeah.
You're hurting so many businesses. You're hurting so many small businesses that like your business. I mean, you're hurting so many businesses to get even with politicians who you're not hurting at all. So this is not a good way to get that message out.
Yeah, it's a vote message I think might help down the road, not
Yes.
a tourism message.
This is tough because this is a horrible situation to kind of empower these youth, but I know that our generation has certainly been a little hard on their generation, just like, are they going to get fired up about anything? Are they going to get involved? Are they going to vote? So I hate that this is what has kind of, emblazoned them, but there's something that says to me, wow, these kids, we're going to be okay. Like, the world is going to be okay with these kids because they are, to learn this type of activism at this age is huge. I agree that it's misdirected in this case, but I don't want to squash that.
No, but they need to learn to direct their energy where they get results. If they take it to Tallahassee, they'll get results up there. I think if they are seen and heard, their faces are seen, they will get results up there. And take it to the voters.
Yeah.
Take it to the voters. But taking it out on businesses is not the right answer.
Yeah, and Florida's a big place, and because
Absolutely.
you don't want to hurt the whole state because of various voting records in different counties. So it's just so complicated. It's tough.
Yes, it is, because we really want the right answer, but we don't know how to find it.
And some of these children have spoken so eloquently, and it's almost it's been
Absolutely.
moving to see them find a voice in such a dark situation. But again, boycotting, I don't know if that's the answer.
Interesting side note, my daughter's going to University of Wisconsin in the fall. I have a senior, so all sorts of stress here. But the universities are sending out notes that say, we will not be holding an in-school suspension or an out-of-school suspension against you for, I forget the reason they put it, I believe constitutional purposes, because a lot of these kids are heading off to Tallahassee or taking a stand and doing a walkout. And technically the school has to give them a slash for that, and the colleges have come forth to say,
Wow.
we understand.
them.
I thought so too. We understand your right to demonstrate and your right to peacefully protest, and that is part of our Constitution. The universities will not hold that against you. All these things that I grew up in that decade before or rather after Vietnam and before this world, and they're just things were kind of bland in the 80s, right? I mean,
and it was kind of sit down, be quiet, and don't make a lot of noise.
Well,
you know,
I was a reporter in the 60s. That was not the
Right, so you
message
get
then.
it. To me, I'm like, what are these kids doing? They're crazy, but they're not crazy.
But they changed the world.
Absolutely.
They changed the world.
Absolutely.
They were against the Vietnam War, and they made a difference. So
and they'll
they
make
can
a
still
better
make a
world for the
difference.
young children coming
Yes.
today.
Yeah, and now we have social media, and that can really give them a voice that they never had before. And
Absolutely.
I think it can do a lot of good, and also social media sticks with you forever. So
Yeah.
Right.
you have to
Yes.
be careful, but I think it's given them a voice.
But we need to attack the public officials who are voting.
Right.
They are our
Right.
power. We need to go after them.
or is there an opportunity for communities and businesses to stand up and say, we support you,
Yes.
so come visit us?
Yeah, well, that may be this.
Exactly.
That may be this week's
Yeah.
next tweet.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
speaking of vacations, vacation rental options like Airbnb, VRBO, they continue to gain big popularity in our area, but they also bring up a tax issue. Manatee County is pushing back. The county tax collector says they want to make sure they're getting their 5% tourism bed tax. Now, Airbnb does collect and distribute this tax for 39 other Florida counties. Manatee County wants the individual renters to do it. But the problem is not everyone complies, then they're chasing them down. The renters complain the county is making this way harder than it needs to be. Do you think our area is still a little behind the 8 ball here and being wary of this rental situation? I mean, Nicole, you may know, I'm sure you have tons of people coming into town for the events that you help with. Do people use the Airbnb,
They
the
do.
VRBOs?
They do. I mean, I think just people love to come to Florida. It's beautiful here. I mean, my 3 weddings this weekend, what amazing weather did they have?
Absolutely.
So we do have a lot of people that come into town. A lot stay in hotels, but if they want to stay a little longer, especially if they have families, they do Airbnbs a lot. So I think it's very, very popular.
I don't think we want to lose that. I don't think we want to make it too
Yeah.
hard.
We are a destination. Like to your point, we are a destination, so we get more people visiting us. We get more people staying in hotels or in Airbnbs.
stay for a
we
week.
don't want to
Yeah,
lose
and
that.
Right.
But I have a house on the market. It's on the water. You can have a boat, but I think, do I really want to rent it out to strangers for a week or so? Even though I could lock up everything valuable, do I really want somebody going through my things?
Yeah.
So it's a scary thought.
And we, I've even looked at about and talked to friends about, do you rent out that extra guest room of yours? But then you're like, same thing. I was like,
Right.
I have days where I'm not home
But
very
for
much.
people that want to do it, I don't think the county should be making it any more difficult.
Exactly.
So
I don't
hopefully
think
they'll
so
be
either.
able to
It's
resolve
not going
that.
anywhere.
Yeah, and I've stayed in many before with my girlfriends. We loved it.
Absolutely.
It was awesome. It was so much more fun than a hotel. So it's a great way to travel.
Okay, here's a fun travel story. I don't know if you're going to think this is nearly as funny as I do. So we complain endlessly about the things we see on airplanes. This one may absolutely top the list. So this woman got caught airing out her dirty laundry. No, literally. She was videoed holding a pair of white cotton underwear over her head
my
up to the air vent to dry them off. So a fellow passenger reports this woman did not care, not remotely embarrassed. In fact, they were held up there for about 20 minutes. I don't know, extra scary takeoff?
Indecent exposure, I'm
don't wanna
thinking
know.
here. I do not want to see that.
Okay, now I'm going to play the mom card here because I bet it's what Nicole thought too. They looked sort of toddler-ish, right? That band around the edge.
Yeah.
Maybe a kid had a problem and she had to
didn't
rinse them and
mention
dry
any
them.
kids.
That
Didn't
air goes
mention
all
any
through that
kids.
cabin multiple
Oh,
times.
my gosh.
Have we gotten worse? Are we worse travelers
Yes.
than we used to be?
Absolutely.
Do we have no manners at all?
Yeah.
No respect for each other?
Admit it's funny.
I mean,
It's underwear.
You have to find the humor in that, otherwise you will, the
Honestly,
germaphobe
though,
within you will.
if I'm sitting behind the guy, I'm not amused at all because I'm confident that's coming my way.
Yeah, I'm pushing that
Okay,
button.
there
and-
is a public rule. Keep your underwear on.
Yeah.
Hey, when Linda
Travel with
speaks
some
it,
extras.
it's a rule.
if you need some help.
All right, well, the internet loves a good optical argument. So see if you can find the controversy in this picture. It's honestly just a simple mirror selfie, but it combines horizontal and vertical stripes for a very odd effect. Look at her bird legs. Okay, not really. That is a tan vertical stripe on her track pants.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That
those, do you,
is bizarre.
at first glance to me, it looked like that is a flamingo. Her legs are so skinny.
Yes.
But when you think about track pants, they would be all black with one stripe. You're only seeing one of her
so
legs.
you're seeing
Yeah.
that stripe looks like it's the space between her
I
legs.
don't think Linda
so-
ever thought it was two. Did you ever think
no,
it was
I
two?
never thought it was two. I'm thinking I'd like to have some of those.
Now, I took one look at that and was honestly concerned about her health because I figured her legs must be this big around. To me, it looked like two legs
That's
with
a great thing.
the
Wow,
smallest,
that's
right, with the smallest thigh gap known to man. But what it really was is the side picture. Look at it again and see what you think, because I'm hoping this one does a circular. Right now I'm thinking that I'm going to wear track pants and stand sideways anytime you see me, and I'll look that skinny.
Well, the real question is, do you see black and blue? Or
no. We are not going there. That's not the question.
And is that her arm at the top, her shoulder sticking out, or is that some kind of fat-looking thing?
All I know is that track pants, which I used to consider extremely unattractive, make you look very thin. So I will be finding some of those. All right, we're going to check on our happy hour forecast, and when we come back, we're going to sit down and talk to Johns Hopkins All Children's.
Once again, temperatures soaring into the low 80s today here along the Suncoast. Some mid-80s well inland. Another warm day expected for tomorrow. We have 77 degrees right now. A little bit of a shift in wind at the south-southwest now. It's cool things down just a little bit from our high into the low 80s today. You can see a cold front approaching from the north. It's not going to have enough strength to get all the way through here and cool us down, but one will eventually by later this work week, and not much going on behind it. Some cooler and drier air has filtered in behind those strong storms that spawned tornadoes across parts of the lower southeast over the weekend. This is the same frontal boundary that did that, but it is much weaker now as it's pushing through North Florida. Now, temperature is 86 in Orlando. It's 78 in Miami with a sea breeze there kicking in. Sarasota at 77 and 69 into Jacksonville. The evening planner shapes up like this. Temperatures into the upper 60s by 11 o'clock under generally fair skies. So it looks as though the heat is on for us again on Tuesday. We'll have the latest on that and some cooler weather headed the way at 5.
Sadly, we are well aware that the Suncoast is at the center of the opioid crisis, and as a result, some of our youngest residents are drastically affected. Every 30 minutes, a baby exposed to opioids is born. And Dr. Prabhu Parimi, the director of Johns Hopkins All Children's Neonatal Institute, is here to tell us about what opioids mean for newborns. Welcome, doctor. So, it's a very scary statistic. What happens to a baby who has been exposed to opioids in utero?
Sure, I think it's important to sort of point out that when the baby is in utero, there is a constant supply of opioids from the mother to the baby. At the time of birth, there's an abrupt discontinuation of opioids. As a consequence, babies demonstrate withdrawal symptoms from opioid anywhere between 3 to 5 days after birth. And these include babies who cry incessantly, irritability, the tone is high, increased, and sweat profusely. And some of these babies may also have convulsions and also have poor feeding.
Oh, sounds heartbreaking. So tell us what Johns Hopkins All Children's is doing for these cases. And there is a specific name for a baby who is coming off an opioid pregnancy.
Right, it's called neonatal abstinence syndrome.
Okay.
That's a name given to babies who are exposed to opioids and then demonstrate symptoms post-birth.
What can you do?
So what we have done at Johns Hopkins All Children's is took a different approach. And that is that we have put these babies in an area within the neonatal ICU and put the expertise around. And these include occupational therapists, musical therapy, speech therapy, and dedicated group of physicians. And the results are really startling. So what we have done as a consequence of what we call cohorting is reduce the length of stay the babies have in the neonatal ICU from 13 to 9 days.
Oh,
Decrease the exposure of medication. We have to use medications to treat these babies to almost 40% reduction. And I think the key thing that I need to sort of emphasize also is that those babies who are eligible to breastfeeding, we were able to demonstrate that increase from 69 to 100%.
Wow.
So I think this cohorting them is a great approach to help these babies to recover quickly and be able to discharge home.
What is the long-term prognosis? I mean, rough start to life. How much of that are you able to reverse?
No, there's not much known. There is some sort of a conflicting data at this point in time. I think what is important is that we know that there's emerging information about effect of opioids and developing brain in utero. So there is some data to show at around 18 to 24 months after birth, these babies may demonstrate behavioral symptoms and some developmental issues. But again, I think it's very important to underscore that data is still under investigation. So more work needs to be done to shed light on both the long-term consequences of babies exposed to opioids.
I'm not sure we want to know the answer to this next question. How often are you seeing this here in our area?
So at Johns Hopkins All Children's, I think I'll tell you two things. At Sarasota, we manage anywhere between 100 to 120 babies every year born at the Sarasota Memorial Hospital and being cared for in our Sarasota outpatient care clinic to see if there are any issues. At Johns Hopkins All Children's, we admit anywhere between 120 to 150 babies every year exposed to opioids.
Okay, so that's 100 here and another 150 in St. Pete.
Absolutely.
Wow, then we really are the epicenter of this problem.
Yes.
Indeed is.
That's frightening. That's very frightening. So you are doing lots of different things to tell the community about this. One of them being the Johns Hopkins Community Program aimed to help women. Tell us about the program that's coming up and how your opioid background is going to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think the women's journey is about to start in Wednesdays. We have 3 consecutive days. We are focusing on the health issues pertaining to women. And opioid is a big issue. 30% of women in the childbearing age group receive opioids. Every 3 minutes, a woman receives care in the emergency room for misuse of opioids. So there's a lot of work that we have to do reaching out to the community. But I think the 2 key things that we really need to talk about is destigmatize it and really talk about the consequences of using opioids. What's happening is that consequently mothers are not presenting into prenatal care at an early stage. They're coming in late. That may lead to babies being born low birth weight and premature. So much work needs to be done before pregnancy, during pregnancy, to mitigate the consequences of opioids on the developing brain of the baby and the long-term consequences.
So you want honesty. You want the women to be able to say to their doctor, I've made a mistake, or maybe they don't even think it's a mistake.
Right.
I've had opioids, so that you are prepared for the baby.
Absolutely. I think so. We are reaching out to the community. We are collaborating with PAR, collaborating with the OB and MFM physicians to have launch this educational campaign so that they can come in and then provide this care throughout pregnancy, and then to see if you can potentially detoxify by resorting to a different agent which will have less effects on the baby, and babies can be home early.
What a heartbreaking side effect of the whole issue.
yes, it
is.
So thank you to Johns Hopkins All Children's for the work that you are doing to help these babies, and we love that you're spreading it right down to Sarasota as well. A Woman's Journey Sarasota will be held at the Sarasota Ritz-Carlton. That is coming up on Friday, March 2nd. For more information, you can go to hopkinsallchildrens.org and then / A Woman's Journey 2018. Coming up next, Manatee School for the Arts previews the musical Godspell.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Thousands of award-winning Honda SUVs are on sale from $189 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You've got to see these SUVs. Get a surprisingly spacious 2018 HR-V, $189 a month, or step up to Pilot for $289 a month with available seating for 8. Plus, we have Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, the 2018 CR-V, and Ridgeline, a Car and Driver's 10 Best. All on sale for up to $3,805 less than the competition at your local Honda dealer.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. The Antique Roadshow will tape several shows in Sarasota.
We'll tell you what you can still do to apply before it's too late tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we still have some cold air back to the west. That's a signal of some cooler air that'll be arriving on the Suncoast by the end of the work week. We'll let you know just how cold it's going to be and whether or not we'll see any showers this week.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you. Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a digital media producer to write and post fresh content to our website in real time. Excellent writing skills and newsroom experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Manatee School for the Arts is a tuition-free, arts-focused middle and high school which has produced many successful performers. They're getting ready to open the musical Godspell, and today they've brought us a preview. Take it away, guys. Wow, they are awesome. You guys are so good. And joining us now is the lady with a smile on her face, Natalie Mock. She is the co-director and the choreographer of the show. Tell me, Natalie, how is Manatee School for the Arts different than a regular middle school or high school?
Our school is very special because the students are exposed to arts infusion every day. They have the opportunity to take so many different electives, from hip-hop dance to digital photography to multiple styles of music, and all of the arts are infused in their academics as well.
So they're getting the same academics they would at any other high school or middle school?
Absolutely. It's just a different experience because they have a little bit more fun doing it, I think.
It sounds like they do. We can't wait to see the whole show. And you've got to see this show. It is Godspell at Manatee School for the Arts. It opens on March 2nd and it runs through March 10th. For tickets, go to their website. And next, we're going to take a look at this season's wedding trends.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, March 3rd. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC 7 to get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC 7, we're here for you.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in with Chef Evan from the brand new Siesta Key Summer House. And it wouldn't be summer if we weren't talking some fresh, refreshing cocktails. So Chef Evan, tell us a little bit about your upcoming cocktail menu.
At the Summer House, we're going to be doing a lot of fresh infusions, fresh fruit, really high-end cocktails. One of the things that's really interesting is we've got the Corvin machine, which allows us to offer you guys a higher-end bottle of wine by the glass. So a lot of restaurants don't do that, which is really cool aspect for us to do.
All right, we look forward to all that.
We're going to pop some oysters and get ready for you guys to come in the kitchen a little bit later.
Sounds great. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you.
Joey?
Well, spring is a popular time for weddings here on the Suncoast, and whether you are planning one or attending one, there are new and exciting trends every year. Well, our guest host, Nicole Caney, is the owner of NK Productions, and she has been helping Suncoast couples plan their perfect event for more than a decade. Well, so we're very glad you're here. Not only have you made our set beautiful, but you're also making weddings beautiful. So we know that there are different trends every year. Any overall themes that you're seeing this year?
We don't do a whole lot of trends with our weddings because our clients really like a timeless look, but we are seeing, last year we saw flowers that were just out of control with greenery. So bouquets were huge. They've kind of tightened up a little bit, softer palettes we're seeing, but we are seeing interesting greenery that you can see in this piece from Victoria Blooms.
Well, before we get there, you're pretty much talking luxury weddings with us now. So we're looking at, we get to see the weddings of the rich and famous.
We like. That would be so fun.
We would like that.
Well, we have so many incredible venues in Sarasota. I always say we are so lucky to have Selby Gardens, the Ringling, the Ritz-Carlton, the Crosley. I mean, we are just so lucky in this area to have this level of wedding venue that it's really, really fun for us because we get to do so many different things with our clients.
Oh, yes.
And it really has their personalities come across with each venue.
So one of my favorite things about a wedding is the cake. I will fess up. So I want to start with the cake. So what have you been seeing with cakes?
Well, everyone loves a good cake. So I think, first of all, having a really delicious cake is important, but we're seeing a lot of over the top. I mean, I think wedding trends are just that weddings just keep getting better and better, which is great for us.
And you brought us a beautiful example.
Yes, Julie Defense made this cake. The flowers are handmade. It's so beautiful and detailed. So when we are seeing wedding cakes, we are seeing them quite large, very, very detailed, sugar flowers or sometimes real flowers. But this is one that we just did at the Ringling last weekend, and that wedding was over the top. Wow. Every element came out, and it was just incredible. I mean, that cake was a piece of artwork.
I need a behind-the-scenes question. So let's say you're not having that huge of a wedding, but you want a really big cake. Is it okay to do a couple faux layers on the bottom? It is? Okay,
well,
good.
we like that in Florida so things don't melt.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a bonus here.
Because you might want to go big, but not need to feed 800.
Right, and not anybody knows because they look so beautiful, but a lot of the time cakes do have a few big layers. It's a wedding secret. It's a secret.
We do want to point out that beautiful cake was from Julie Defense Artistry, which it is artistry. It is gorgeous.
Yes.
We're so lucky to have her here on the Suncoast. All right, now let's move to flowers. You mentioned florals. What are you seeing there?
I'm seeing soft flowers, so really neutral color palettes and different varieties. parties. Like this arrangement has tulips, it has garden roses, it has some things that maybe you'd find in a garden at home, and it has some different types of greenery. So just lots of really interesting pieces.
And this is from Victoria Blooms.
It is, who's a great local vendor. We're so lucky to have the vendors that we have in our community.
And it's interesting to me, even in Florida, we're not necessarily having to see tropical flowers. I mean, this reminds me more of an English garden look, but so we're kind of gotten away from the birds of paradise and the bouquet kind of thing.
I think most brides like something softer, and tropicals tend to be harsher, but we see them a lot for welcome parties. So a lot of the times our clients come in town and they host 3 or 4 events throughout the weekend. And sometimes Friday night could be a welcome party, and that's when you do the really tropical, the palm leaves, something a little more edgy for when your guests first come into town, and very, very Florida. We don't find that most of the weddings themselves are necessarily Florida. They're just general, beautiful weddings.
And events that can spread out over the course of a few days, which is exciting.
We do a lot over several days, because if you have so many people come into town, you want to host them and entertain them, and we have so many venues we can do that at here in Sarasota.
All right. The dresses. I know everyone loves to talk the dresses. You have, in addition to the 2 beautiful pieces that you brought here on stage, you also brought some beautiful models. So let's bring them out, and you can tell us what we're seeing in dresses. And these are all from Something Blue Bridal Bouquet.
And they're located in Bradenton.
Lovely.
So
Let's
the dress
sets
the tone for design. It really does. And the dress here on the right, this is a boho style, which we're seeing more of. It's a little more loose and whimsical, and she has a bouquet that I think complements it really well. I think this would be perfect for like a Selby Gardens wedding.
Yes.
It's lovely.
It is a bohemian boho,
And
right?
especially with the heat, not to be all like corseted in.
Right, and I think it feels really comfortable, and she feels really relaxed, which is so important. And then we have this dress here on the other side, and I think the crystal beading it is fantastic. I mean, she looks amazing in it, but this is just so elegant. We're seeing dresses that are more form-fitting, that are a little more on the sexy side, which I think is really nice. And really, this sets the tone for the whole design. Her back on this dress is the cutout back, and the train is just amazing. So imagine this walking down the aisle, setting the tone for everything else that has to come on the wedding day.
Very
so
elegant.
If you start with dresses like this, you want the rest to be fantastic and amazing as well.
Absolutely. How stunning.
Well,
Thank
you want to be remembered. And you wear one of these and you will be remembered.
Absolutely.
Well, another thing people will remember from your reception and your event is surprises. You said there are some surprises. So you brought us some photos, and I love this first one. It seems to almost set the tone. A red carpet.
Red carpet for guest arrival. That was hundreds of candles as guests came in. I mean, the Ringling Courtyard, you just can't get more elegant than that. So what an amazing entrance. It reminds me of being in New York City at the Public Library. Those huge the huge steps. So I just think what an entrance, and guests were just blown away.
That's
and then that continues as they go in. These are projections on the dance floor.
Projections just to make it feel more custom, to feel more unique. So this was a rose petal because we had roses everywhere at that wedding. So it just makes it feel really special and custom, and it worked just so well. It was really spectacular.
Really stunning. All right, tell us what we see here.
This was an aerial act, which is at John Ringling Museum, which is so perfect to kind of throw back the circus, but in a very elegant way. So it was a little more Cirque du Soleil feeling, and that is actually part of a champagne pour. So guests are interactive with it.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Continue. All right, we're going to keep talking. You can learn more about these trends and all of your wedding needs by visiting Nicole's website, nkproductions.net. All right, next we've talked wedding trends. What about old traditions? We're going to ask our wedding pro when we come back.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. An arrest is made involving a threat towards a Manatee County school last week, and why the city of Venice is discussing hiring another school resource officer. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Jacqueline. It doesn't appear to be setting any records today, but temperatures into the low 80s once again, so the heat goes on. 77 now. Little sea breeze has kicked in. Beautiful day out at the ballpark today. A little bit warm, too. 30-14 on the barometer. That's way up there, but it is a little bit weaker than last week. We have a little frontal system. You can see it making its way through Gainesville now, bringing some rainfall there. That's the same system which brought all the tornadoes across parts of the lower Mississippi Valley over the past weekend, causing some significant damage there. And this front is weakening as it pushes to the southeast right now. Doesn't appear it has enough energy to get through and cool us down, but another one behind it does. Details at 5.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station. Join ABC 7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off, courtesy of ABC 7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org. The Circus Sarasota box office at the big top, or call 941-355-9805.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC 7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC 7 on Facebook.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC 7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Well, we've been having fun talking wedding trends, from red carpets at the reception to elaborate champagne pours. Well, all of these new wedding trends, do the old traditional rules apply? Our guest host and Suncoast wedding planner Nicole Caney is here to weigh in on wedding woes. All right, Nicole, we know that each wedding is different, but some couples can sometimes get hung up on traditions and trying to make sure they incorporate everything. Do you have any general advice for them?
I think you do what feels right for you. So every couple is unique, and we like them to feel comfortable and feel like they're embracing what's great about their relationship. So we talk through it and see if it's right for them. We make it feel very custom.
Okay.
So there's not a cookie cutter approach
No,
to
and
it.
if you want bubbles at your wedding, you can have bubbles come down at your wedding, whatever you want.
They make you happy, sure.
All right, so we pulled some of the more traditional things that people use in their ceremony, so we wanted you to kind of weigh in.
Okay.
What about the rules? It's true, you can only have 2 wedding colors. Is that true?
No, that's definitely not true. We see a lot of palettes. So we're not necessarily seeing my wedding is white and silver. We're seeing ranges of color tones just because we have so many amazing things available to us now. So we certainly don't just see 2 colors. We see multiple colors or just sometimes very neutral palettes.
Oh, nice.
That
so
sounds good.
It's still whatever you like. It's what the couple wants.
Sure.
It's their tastes.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is interesting. I know as we've seen, same-sex marriage or just, gender roles changing. Bridesmaids traditionally female, groomsmen are traditionally male. Is that still a rule?
No, we see mixed. We really do. I think you want your closest next to you, and if it's a male or female, either side, you want who you want next to you. So we embrace that. Every wedding's really different, and if it works for you, then that's great. We love it.
Oh, this is nice, because there were people I went to college with, and they said, I'm sorry, I already have a maid of honor, but you can be one of the groomsmen. But, they probably would have chosen me to stand next to them. So
right.
Those rules are broken away.
I like that.
I'll choose you to stand
Thank
next
you.
to me.
Make them wear a dress. Sorry.
All right, what about the old, this is for some of the more traditional, bad luck for the bride and groom to see each other before the ceremony. Is that still true?
So it's not. I would say about 75% of our weddings, they do see each other before. The reason why is you have these amazing photographers at these incredible venues. You just want more time. And a wedding day goes by so fast. So if you want to, we encourage it. I definitely have clients that say absolutely not. We will only see each other when we walk down the aisle. That's great, and that's what you want. But brides and grooms that are open to it, we love it.
Yeah.
Because you just get so
I'd have
many
done
more
that differently.
photos.
I will tell you that because, and you were both at my wedding, the pressure of fitting it into 20 minutes so that the guests aren't left alone and I didn't have time to circulate, it was a little stressful. It really was. I'd have done that before if I could do it again.
And don't you want to see your betrothed before and just have a moment of going, wow,
we did it.
Let's calm each other down or whatever.
Well, I think it would help with the nerves.
I think so, but we have couples again that say we will just see each other when we walk down the aisle, and they feel very strongly about it. So in that case, sure, that works for them.
Well, that can deliver a moving
But if they're
reaction.
open for our couples, we love it. They just get so many more pictures before.
Right.
So then, and especially a lot like to join cocktails because
well, hello, yes, I missed all my appetizers. I never got. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed them.
What about wedding bands? Do the two bands have to match?
No, actually, we don't see them match much anymore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saw one this weekend. It was beautiful, very different. Groom had on a really thin band, and the bride had a nice big diamond. So
I like that.
No, yeah, it doesn't have to
you'll
match.
see varying tastes, right? Someone's a little flashier than the other person, and they want what they want.
Right.
All right, the ceremony rules. Now, this is good for guests. If you show up, I never know, is it still the bride's on one side, groom's friends on another side? How does the seating work?
So we rarely see that, but we always see the first few rows reserved for family. So maybe 1 row or 2 rows is for the bride side or groom side or bride side, however the wedding is working out. But we don't see each side for bride and groom because a lot of the time now couples are all friends and there isn't just a side that you align with.
Right.
So we just like to make sure that families in the front rows and besides that guests can sit wherever they'd like.
Is it okay to wear white to a wedding as a guest?
Good question.
Never.
Not still even in Florida, huh?
No,
Never.
I don't agree personally. I think that is absolutely reserved for the bride. Let her have her moment, and guests I don't believe should wear white. Although people have asked about wearing black to weddings. We see a lot of black at weddings.
It's okay for black, but not for white.
But I don't think white.
Okay.
I think
that's good to know.
That is good to know.
Now, for a reception, there's a lot of checklists of things that you need to do. The garter toss, the bouquet toss, are those still a must-have?
It depends. If you have a lot of single friends, sure. If you have 1 or 2 single friends, I don't find that they really enjoy being out there. But I've had
Hi, I'm the not married one.
The reluctance.
So I think you want to think about your guests. If you have 20 or 15 single friends and you think they'll find it fun, they can be really fun, the bouquet and the garter. But if you have a few, they probably don't want to be dragged out on
And
the
if
floor.
everybody's going to duck and run away from it, not so good.
You want it to feel fun because it's usually towards the end of the night, so you want it to be exciting and not you're pushing people to go out there.
I love this. So the overall theme is whatever you like, it's for you. It's your choices.
No judging.
Yes.
Well, there are some rules. You still have some rules to abide by.
No white. We did learn no white.
Yeah.
Well, you can learn more about these trends and all of your wedding needs by visiting Nicole at nkproductions.net. All right, coming up, it's spring wedding season. It's also spring training season. ABC 7 Days coming up with the Orioles. We'll tell you all about it.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
The group of patients who really need this care have a very difficult time accessing it. So they can have trouble finding doctors who will provide care in a non-judgmental way.
Planned Parenthood offering transgender hormone therapy to those making a change, but who is paying for the medication? I'm Alan Cohn. Will have that story as we take it to the Trappist Way.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves him green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Okay, you know what do I love? Baseball. It is spring training season. Opening weekend has happened. There's great games all this week. And you're going to want to come to Ed Smith Stadium and join us on Wednesday. February 28th is ABC 7 Day. We are throwing out the first pitch, singing the national anthem, say hi to us, hanging out around the stadium throughout the day. Lots of free swag, and it is just a good time. Everybody's happy at the ballpark. You know, that is why I love to be there so much. So come out and join us. The bird will say hi. And you know what? Oh, by the way, there's baseball too.
And you're singing the national
I am singing the national anthem.
on that. I don't want to get stuck with that microphone.
Okay, that's good to know that I won't pass that off.
No, please don't.
And I heard Fergie's already booked, so you're stuck with me. You know, that's how that's going to go. But come join us. It's a great team. It's a great thing to have right here on the Suncoast, and we are proud to be a part of them. We're also proud to introduce you to a brand new restaurant on Siesta Key. Join us in the kitchen with Siesta Key Summer House.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye. And over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation.
1-800-813-0109.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at the top of the hour. Minors living with a gender identity issue can now undergo hormone therapy before becoming a legal adult. What local doctors have to say about the procedure. Taking a look at First Alert traffic right now, we're seeing a crash in the northbound lanes of I-75. This is right near University Parkway exit, and it is slowing traffic in that area. Back to Bob now for another look at our weather.
Thanks, Scott. Another warm day today. Highs were in the low 80s near the coast, mid 80s inland. There's a cold front moving through north portion of Florida right now, bringing some rainfall from Jacksonville southward through Gainesville earlier. This is the same front that caused all that rough weather and tornadic activity over the weekend. But now that front is weakening. It's not going to make it through here and cool us down anytime soon. That cool air will remain to our north, but there is a possibility of another front coming down behind it, though. That will cool us down. Details on that coming up at 5.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Coming up Tuesday at 4 on Suncoast View, it is the perfect time of year to sit on the patio with a good book. We'll ask Bookstore One to help us make our spring reading lists and bring their top picks for the season. It's also a good time to crack open a cold brew, so our gift girl is back with fun ideas for beer drinkers. Plus, Sarasota Opera previews Manon Lescaut, and it's a circus, literally, with a ringmaster in the kitchen.
Welcome back. We're here with Chef Evan from Siesta Key Summer House. What are we making today?
We are going to show you guys our take on our Oysters Rockefeller. So what we're starting here is a spinach and bacon fondue. So I've got a little bit of butter in here, a little bit of bacon, and we're just rendering that out. And if Linda, you'll hand me those chopped up shallots and garlic that you did earlier so well.
That I did earlier.
You guys should have seen her. She was.
Might have been a little fib, I just heard.
Tears.
She can't chop that fine. We know Linda.
So we're gonna sweat those out, the onion or the shallots and the garlic. Let that render out, and then we've got a little bit of flour. So what we're doing is we're kind of making a roux with a little bit of milk and cream to make that fondue. And we've got some of that made ahead of time, so we're going to start spreading that on the oysters. So it's a two-step process where we kind of bake the oysters off after we put that fondue on, and then we're going to go ahead and cover it with we have Gouda, Parmesan, and butter crumbs that we're going to mix up in there.
You had me at Gouda. While Nicole does some work there, I want to ask a couple of questions. So first of all, we should tell everybody that Siesta Key Summer House is brand new.
It's brand new.
Doors will be opening any few weeks here now, so you're not crazy if you haven't been there.
Correct.
It's brand new.
It's right next to the cottage, yes.
Okay, on Siesta Key. And Linda told a great memory story about her memories of Summer House on Midnight
Summer
Pass.
House was a huge, beautiful place where you could see all glass, you could see the outside, all flowers and foliage. The best weddings in town were there.
Correct.
Wonderful parties.
I love the homage to that, though, kind of a
Well, yeah, we're paying
throwback.
homage to it, and just to have that, you know, who doesn't want to have a summer house on the beach?
Absolutely.
Yes,
I know I want one.
I know me.
You don't have to own one, you can go visit
Right, we're going to go visit you. Okay, that sounds great.
All right, so we're going to throw a little bit of flour in to make that roux. And one thing that really gives an Oyster Rockefeller its signature flavor is Pernod, which is an anisette flavored liquor. So we're going to throw a little bit of that in there and deglaze.
So anisette meaning anise and licorice?
Yeah,
it really is a licorice flavor? Okay.
Exactly.
Oh,
You
no
can
Pernod.
smell it. So
Oh,
then
now
we're
I
going to go ahead
smell
and throw the spinach in. And we're going to wilt
So it's
that.
healthy.
Right, we call it a vegetable. This is a vegetable dish.
So we are really excited about our steaks, and you know, we're doing very classical, but also our kind of spin on it as well.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about, I mean, there's some amazing cuts of meat here.
Those are big steaks.
You talked about very carefully sourcing your steaks.
Yes, it's taken us probably about 2 years to really carefully source these steaks, all natural. The feed, we actually met with the fourth generation farmer. Really, really cool story.
That's very cool.
They have a feed that they've been feeding them for 4 generations, and it's only to that area. They can only get that feed in
and
that
that really
area.
matters.
It does. So, you know, we've got our 40-ounce porterhouse for 2.
Oh,
for 2. That's for 2.
better.
We're going to be sous vide in that for about 6 hours. Falls right off the bone. This is our dry-aged bone-in ribeye. We've got a 20-ounce New York strip. We have a Nyman Ranch, which is big, everybody, especially in this town.
Absolutely, we love Nyman
And then
Ranch.
we've got our prime ribeye as well.
Okay, lots to look forward to. Seafood, steaks, good cocktails. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go ahead and throw we have some heavy cream and a little bit of milk, and we're going to let that come together. If you want to go ahead and mix the rest of those butter crumbs with that cheese.
Okay, so add this into the bowl. Okay. Everything's better with Gouda. Do I get to put more in, or is that a topper? Put it in?
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to mix that up, and then we're going to go ahead and top these and throw them in the oven.
Okay. Okay, so this is the Oysters Rockefeller. I assume this is on an appetizer menu.
Correct, yep. You get 6 of them.
Chef, while you're working, earlier you served us some craft cocktails, so is that also going to be a big mainstay of the menu?
Yes, exactly. Craft cocktails, like I said, we have the Corvin machine, so we can really offer a higher-end bottle of wine at glass.
You know, I'm going to grab this for a second. For anybody that isn't familiar with the Corvin machine, they know my wine habits here, so it's one of my favorite things in life. Explain how this works.
It actually goes, there's a needle that goes in, and there's a little gas capsule that it penetrates through the cork, so you never take the cork out of the wine. It's really, really cool.
So basically, you can have a really high-end glass of wine from a great bottle that normally you would have to order and have the whole bottle, but now you can just have a glass. So you get to try things you wouldn't ever try before because you might not want to drink a whole bottle.
Yeah,
So, all right, I love it. Chef Evan's going to head to the oven. We will be sampling shortly, but I want to remind you that this is all Siesta Key Summer House. This is a brand new, soon-to-open restaurant out on Siesta Key. It's next to the cottage right there in town. You're going to want to stop by, find steaks, find seafood, and yeah, just a lot of fun. We're really excited.
Yeah. So our finished product we have here in front of us. So they come out about 7 to 8 minutes in the 400-degree oven. They get nice and bubbly and gooey. We serve it with some fresh lemon on some rock salt, and it doesn't get much.
It doesn't get much better than this. I absolutely agree. All right, we cannot wait till you open. We will be there to join you. Nicole, great to have you with us.
Yes.
Never gets more fun than weddings. I think it makes everybody happy. We've had a great start to the week. Thank you for joining us. Take some time and enjoy the Suncoast view. See you tomorrow.